US Vice President JD Vance, in an interview with Fox News Sean Hannity aired on Thursday, 13th November, blamed Democrats for the government's shutdown by rejecting a deal that he said could have been agreed upon much earlier. Vance said the Democrats made a huge political mistake by continuing to push for all of these crazy things, referring to their demands for what he said were $1.5 trillion of benefits, healthcare for illegal aliens.
How you doing?
Thanks for sitting down. Well, I guess we start with a little good news.
Yeah.
Government is open.
We could have struck this exact deal 45 days ago. In fact, we met with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer and said, we will pass this exact deal. They said no. They put the American people through a ton of pain and suffering for nothing. And we knew this was
$0.5 trillion, hundreds of billions of dollars for health care for illegals, DEI programs abroad.
They were saying that unless you give us everything that we want, unless you give us $1.5 trillion of benefits, health care for illegal aliens, we're going to destroy the country. We're going to keep the government shut down indefinitely. I think the president recognized eventually the American people are going to recognize this is the Democrats doing this. The Democrats, I think, made a huge political mistake by continuing to push for all of these crazy things. And they said,
if any leader, did you have conversations with them? Say, work this out with me. Did that happen?
Because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who were taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had. So what we're doing is trying to make it easier to build houses, trying to make it easier to build factories and things like that so that people have good jobs. We're also getting all of those illegal aliens out of our country, and you're already seeing it
continue. And there's real palpable anger that it didn't continue. I think.
But you've already seen signs that things are getting better. The price of eggs has gone way down. The price of energy has gone way down. The price of gasoline has gone way down. And as we know, when the price of energy goes down, that starts to filter out into the entire economy, but that also takes a little bit of time.
That manufacturing get online, because those are high-paying career jobs.
Yes, they are.
You know, we are going to bring in-house.
The interview was aired a day after US President Donald Trump signed legislation ending the longest government shutdown in US history. Hours after the House of Representatives voted to restart disrupted food assistance, pay hundreds of thousands of federal workers, and revive a hobbled air traffic control system. But the deep political divisions that caused the 43-day shutdown in the first place remain unresolved. The funding package contains few guardrails to restrain Republican President Donald Trump from withholding spending in an administration that has regularly challenged Congress' constitutional authority over money. And it does not address the soon-to-expire health subsidies that led Senate Democrats to begin the shutdown in the first place. Neither party appears to have emerged as a clear winner. A Reuters Ipsos poll released on Wednesday found that 50% of Americans blamed Republicans for the shutdown while 47% blamed Democrats. Democrats secured no guarantees on health subsidies, only a promise that the Republican-controlled Senate will hold a vote on the matter. But they argued that they elevated the issue at a time when polls show Americans are concerned about the rising cost of living. The subsidies benefit 24 million Americans, disproportionately residents of Republican-controlled states. Republicans, meanwhile, argued that the shutdown had been a pointless exercise that caused needless damage, an argument Democrats have made in 2013 and 2019, when Republicans forced shutdowns over health and immigration issues. Vance separately took aim at illegal immigrants in the country, claiming they were to blame for a housing crisis. We flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants who were taking houses that ought by right go to American citizens. And at the same time, we weren't building enough new houses to begin with, even for the population that we had, he told Hannity during the interview.